One of the things that I'm really excited about is that we have the new PCS map. What's interesting about this map is that I've been looking at we've done I've looked at like over the past year, right? I kind of just looked back over the past year, looked at some of the conversations, looked at the progress overall of what we've been doing, looked at what elements really made a big difference and what elements we can probably remove, what elements that we can add, what elements is actually going to make a big difference, what elements is going to make you more motivated. And with that being said, I updated and created a new map because this is literally like the roadmap to everything that we do, right? So make sure that you can do that. All right. So with the PCS map, a couple key things. We have 5 big categories. What I've noticed is one of the main things that you need to get. A lot of people have questions around clarity, right? So clarity in terms of, what topic I should focus on, what niche should I focus on, where do I start, what should my coaching program look like, what should my speech look like, and then also one of the things I noticed is that when we have new products and programs, that we just jump out and launch it. I mean, we just jump out the gate and just offer it to the world. And one of the things that I want us to start doing is launching it. Number 2 is build the program and process. So this is really where we're figuring out, okay, well, what is my program, right? Like, what do I offer? Like, how do I structure my content, right? So this is like, what case studies do I have or who have I helped? So this is really just understanding and creating your program. That's really what the build the programming process is. This is once you're done with this, you're ready to start getting clients, right? At that point, because the payment process and everything is set up, and we'll go through that. So that's level number 2. By the way, each one of these numbers we're calling levels. Under all of these different check marks or these flags that you see, all of those are milestones. So if we ever do a touch point, or if I reach out to you and I say, David, you know what? I say, what level you on? You say, Coach, I'm on level 1, milestone 3, or I'm on level 2, milestone 4, right? So I immediately know what it is, right? So that's key. Level 3 is now we really talking about building up the audience and attraction. This is where we're talking about list building. This is where we're talking about opt-ins. This is where you actually building your audience, right? So we're going to talk more about specifically what that looks like. And by the way, pretty much all of these at some point is already, we've covered this in some form of fashion already. So if you're completely new or fresh to some of these things that you don't understand, like, okay, opt-in page, what is that? Or lead magnet, what is that? You can literally go to the keyword search, the PCS search, and you can just type in those keywords and you'll be able to see previous coaching sessions that we've done, and it'll give you a nice explanation of what any of these terms are. Number 4 is marketing mastery. Let's get to the marketing mastery. So this is where you're going, you're really building out your coaching area. This is the marketing side of it. This is where you're getting coaching clients, you're getting speaking engagements, you hosting trainings. Like, this is where the rubber meets the road. At this point, you have everything that you need. Okay, so this is the marketing side of it. And then number 5 is for my people who are advanced. Number 5 is for my people who are really looking to scale. So this is where we're talking about hiring. This is where we're talking about doing ads. This is where we're talking about now, like you got certain what we call KPIs that you need to hit, key performance indicators that we need to hit, right? So this is where this is like a lot of this is really like automating your business so you can like just generate sales and scale is really what it is, right? This is where you should have launched by this point, right? And the whole goal, and this is for all of us, minimum, I want all of us to have a minimum goal of at least making $5,000 a month in our business. Minimum. Every one of us on here is going to be making $5,000 minimum a month in your business. Okay. And I want that to be the goal. I want that to be the goal for you in 2021. Like, I want us to work on that. I promise you can do that in 2021. Let me at least get my business to $5,000 consistently in a year. And if you're already doing that or you close to it, then obviously we're going to level that up, right? Let's double it, right? So that's going to be the goal, right? And it says 3 months consecutive here. Now, does anybody have any questions on that so far? I'm gonna go into more detail now, but does anybody have any questions on just the overall part of it so far? A lot of times we feel overwhelmed because we are trying to do everything at the same time. I got to do this. I got to do this at the same time. I got to do this right now. And then you feel like you're falling behind in everything, right? And when you feeling that stress and you feel like you're falling behind in everything, we don't do nothing. And that's how it's easy to go on your phone. That's why it's easy to just, sit down and watch Netflix for like 2 seasons. That's why it's easy to do everything else because like, I'm keeping it a buck. Like it happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? It happened to me too. So it's like I physically changed myself. And then 2, like I really just say, what's the next thing that I got to do? What's the next thing I got to focus on? And let's go back to the map. So what this map is, the importance of this is to eliminate the very thing that Robert just said. That's the whole purpose we came up with this map. When we first came out with the program, and when Nice can attest to this, because she's been with us the longest, the PCS map wasn't a thought, right? We came out with the PCS map this year because one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of times we get bogged down with doing a bunch of random things and we get overwhelmed with going in a bunch of different directions. So one of the things that we implemented was the PCS map that literally gives you the yellow brick road to what we need to do in order to grow our influence in this business and to build our careers as coaches and as speakers. And that is the purpose of this map. So it eliminates overwhelm and it gives you complete clarity. How can you say that, coach? Because all you need to be focused on is the level that you're on and the milestone that is in front of you. That's it. If you haven't completed level 1, then you shouldn't be all the way down here looking at things that's in level 4. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that you can on level 1 and clients are not going to approach you, right? So understand that there may be opportunities and you may have already been doing things that's in different levels, which is okay. But understand that you need to be able to check off all of these, because once you're able to, all of these are on here for a specific purpose. All of these milestones are here specifically because if you miss them, because I remember one call that we did for the last PCS map, level up assessment challenge is basically this. It's really identifying where you're at. All of us are in different spots, right? Meaning some of us has been doing this for a longer period of time, right? And some of us are kind of just getting started. It's like, yo, I've never had a client before. I'm just kind of starting this up. And some of us are in between, right? So with the level up assessment challenge is an assessment, and I'm gonna let you know what that assessment is. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna send out a message. I'll send out an email and a text so you know, hey, the level up assessment challenge is ready. I want all of us to take it. And essentially, once you take it, you're gonna know where you're at in this process, so you don't have to guess. So that's what that is. Right, it's just saying what level you're on. That's it. The blueprint challenge, all that is the influencer blueprint guide, and we call it the challenge because you got 7 days to complete it if you haven't already completed the influencer blueprint guide. Right. One of the things I notice is that when we have a challenge, we do things. So we're gonna start doing more challenges. It puts a little bit more pressure on us to get things done. Right. A lot of times we overthink things, but when you don't got time to overthink, you do things. You take action. Right. Set a launch date. Launch date, I want us to set that early. I want us to launch our programs. All of us, I want us to have a launch date. You don't got to do it on the call right now, but put a note that set a launch date and make the launch date within 60 days. You don't have to take that long to launch your program. 60 days. You got 2 months to launch your program. So what that is every member that you get prior to that, we're going to call those beta members, right? Those are going to be the people that is going to help you refine your program. A lot of times we think we know our audience until we actually start coaching people and we realize, oh, if y'all notice, I'm always asking y'all questions, right? So, and that's why things are always improving. You'll never improve unless you really have the pulse of what's going on with your people, right? So with that, set a launch date. So whatever your launch date is going to be, it's going to be in January. Is it going to be in December? What date is it going to be? But pick a day, and that's going to be the day. All that means is that's the day I've been building up towards, and I'm officially telling the world that my coaching program is open. Other than that, you really just in DM privately messaging people, and you talk to them like that and say, hey, you know what? I'm starting up a new coaching program, And, I would love to get you in now, at a discounted rate, just to really help you out with your situation, but also help refine my coaching program.